Welcome to the Uncensored Self Podcast. I am your host, Ryann, and on this show, ambitious women learn how to create a life they're obsessed with, without the hustle, without the grind, without torturing ourselves, and without following anybody else's rules. This podcast is all about creating our own rules, owning our identity as creator, and hitting every single goal we set for ourselves. Together, we're redefining success on our terms and building lives that look as good as they feel. Let's dive in. Welcome back to the Uncensored Self Podcast, where today we're going to do a little FAQs around business therapy. So if you have been following along, I did a really fun podcast series called The Energetics of Winning. And it is a 6-part series that basically breaks down the principles that I will be teaching in business therapy. And business therapy is the brand new program that I recently launched. Actually, it's going to start on Thursday. If you're watching this when it comes out, it's coming out on Monday. The program kicks off on Thursday. And it's just going to be a really, really incredible experience. But I've been getting a lot of questions about the program from different people, just in conversations I have been having as we're just enrolling people, and even just talking to like friends, family, people not in the industry, and asking just questions about the work that I do. So I thought I would take today's podcast episode and spend some time going through some of those FAQs just to answer your questions. I'm going to pull them up. I put them all in a Google Doc so we could stay organized. And so we can dive in. So the first one is like, what the hell is business therapy? Like, what is it? And this came from somebody outside of our community. Like, what is that? What does that mean? And I told the story a little bit that Courtney Benson, who's a client and friend of mine, has lovingly started calling me her business therapist when we started working together last year. Because again, what Courtney thought she had when she and I started working together was a business problem, right? Things weren't going well. She has just finished one of like the best years of her career. She was feeling unhappy, burned out of alignment. Like things just weren't clicking like they used to. She just found herself having a hard time finding the motivation to work and procrastinating and not doing the things that she wanted to do, or doing things and being like, that felt gross, right? So she was the one who kind of dubbed me the business therapist. But the way I see this is that business in and of itself is one of the biggest opportunities to hear all of our shit and see all of our shit. And what I mean by that is when we choose either entrepreneurship or even, I work with a lot of women in business therapy. That's another thing too. Business therapy is not just for entrepreneurs. We actually just enrolled a woman recently who is not an entrepreneur. It really is anybody who's pursuing, professional success in some capacity. So I have worked with clients who are who are attorneys, partners in law firms or directors in nonprofits and different things like that. But well, when you choose to pursue something big in your life, I believe that every insecurity you have comes up, right? And we live in a world that teaches us very much, go learn a new skill, right? Okay, you want to be successful in business. You need to learn leadership. You need to learn sales. You need to learn marketing. You need to learn operations. You need to learn how to run a P&L. You need to learn how to manage business finances, right? In the corporate world, it's maybe skills and achievements and certifications, maybe degrees that we need to, be good at our jobs. And so we have pursued a lot of education as humans. We are some of the most educated, the smartest human, just the people I talk to are so smart, right? You have so much knowledge and information. But what is not often addressed is the emotional capacity to handle that level of success, right? The emotional capacity to handle the ups and downs and the disappointments and the perceived failures that come along with pursuing greatness. So what is business therapy? It is, how do we handle those emotional things that happen, right? How do we play the energy game instead of how do we play the hard work and effort games? That's kind of step one, right? How do we step out of the old paradigm or the old story of business success is merely a matter of hard work and effort? Because, if that was true, we'd all be having a different conversation right now, right? But also the idea of the emotional capacity to handle going after something big. And I talked about this a lot in the Energetics of Winning series in the last episode called Playing to Win, right? But when you play to win, when you play full out, when you go after big things, sometimes you're going to fail, right? Or a perceived failure. I don't think you fail until you quit, right? But sometimes you're not going to get it right. You're going to miss the goal. You're going to disappoint people. You're going to, piss somebody off. You're going to hire the wrong person. You're going to, not hit a revenue target. Like those things are going to happen. It is inevitable, right? In the human experience, it is inevitable. But the emotional capacity to handle that and not make it mean that I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not worthy of this, like that is business therapy, is not making every single mistake or misstep or perceived failure make you want to take your toys and go home and think that maybe you are on the wrong track. Because that is what I see over and over and over again from highly successful people, is they have a couple of bad days, bad weeks, bad years, bad quarters, whatever. And all of a sudden it's like, maybe this isn't for me. And it's like, maybe you just don't have the EQ to handle it. So that is really what business therapy is, to answer that question specifically. I answered the question around, is this only for entrepreneurs? No. Business therapy is, I say it's the study of energetics, right? Of business success, respect, money, right? And I think those things are relevant whether you are an entrepreneur or you're pursuing a corporate career, small business owner, whatever that looks like for you. I don't think entrepreneurship is the only place where this comes up based on the current client base that I work with. Somebody asked the question, how is this different from everything else I've done? And I love that question. And the answer is, I don't know, because I don't know everything else that you've done. That's my first answer to that question. But from there, the reason how this was different than what I was looking for when I was in your shoes, that's really all I can answer that question. When I was in your shoes, there were two options, right? There was business coaching, right? I could go learn a specific strategy to implement in my business. Option one. And then option two was mindset work, right? And so I did both of those things. But what I found in my journey was missing from mindset work was the energy piece of mindset work, right? The work that I do, the study of energetics, is really rooted in universal law, which I say is mind, body, spirit connection, right? It is about our mind, our body, and our spirit. Mindset work is just about the mind. If, again, positive thinking were enough, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It's taking it a layer deeper. It's understanding where do these triggers come from and pulling them back and seeing them for what they are and really truly understanding our true power as the creator of our reality. And for me, I did not see a lot of that on the marketplace, right? It was a lot of how to manifest these things, which is also well and good, but misses a lot in my opinion. And then there's also a lot of like how to and strategy and those types of things. And I believe most high achievers don't need another strategy. It's often what our brain tells us, right? Like, I just need to learn how to do this thing. I just need to master social media. I just need to get this next degree. I just need to learn this new skill. And it's just like everything else, right? Just when I hit that next revenue goal, when I hit that next target, once we move into that neighborhood, and then, right? It still puts success outside of us. And most of what I had experienced and seen, aside from my work with my mentors, has been about how do I change the outside world so that I feel better? And what I teach is how do I feel better so that I can change the outside world? And to me, that is the biggest difference of from what I was doing. I can't tell you what's different from what you're doing. I love that. How's this different then? I don't know. I didn't do it, but that's the answer to the question. Somebody asked this really beautiful question. Do I have to blow everything up? Like, am I going to have to change everything in my life? And what I think is so beautiful about this work is that even if you change nothing in your life and you just do the inner work that we're going to do in business therapy, your entire life will change. So no, not even a little bit. Like, you don't have to change anything externally if you don't want to. Many of my clients don't, right? They just want to better be able to emotionally handle the ride that they're on. We have some people who are wanting to blow things up, right? I say that there's two people that business therapy is really a great fit for. One, it's for the people who are already very successful and are not happy and fulfilled. And then there's the people that are like, I want more success. And I think that it does both. It's just going to depend on how you approach the work, but you don't have to blow anything up. Like, that is one of my favorite things about energy work is nothing outside of you has to change. You can keep doing the same job, working with the same clients, married to the same person, living in the same house, and still have an extremely different experience of life. That is really the magic of energy work and the magic of business therapy. Is this is not let's go blow everything up in your life, because that would just be the old paradigm, right? The hard work and effort paradigm, the hard work and effort story of I'll just change the outside world around so that I feel better. Like, that's not what we're doing here. We're going to feel better so then we can make better decisions about how we want the outside world to look and what things we want to do in that space. But oftentimes I find people are trying to, when I talk about my checkers versus chess scenario, right? Like, they're just trying to move the pieces around on the board instead of realizing you are the one who's creating the entire game. I hope that helps. Somebody did ask the question, hey, Ryan, this is all well and good, but like, I do actually want to make more money. Will this help me do that too? Yes. Because is it about feeling better? Yes. Is it about happiness and fulfillment? Yes. But when you feel better and when you are happy and when you are fulfilled, if one of your focuses, goals, intentions is to make more money, that will be a natural byproduct of it. So if the only reason you're joining this program is because, oh my God, Ryan, I really need to make more money, please help me. Maybe not, right? But if you're like, gosh, I really want to make more money and I have been working so fucking hard to make this amount of money that I have, so I can't imagine making more money because how could I possibly work harder? How could I possibly work more? If that is one of your questions, then yes. So I think that more money is a byproduct of the work that we do in business therapy. Absolutely, positively. But it comes from a place of understanding the energetics of money, because when we understand the energetics of money, we realize again that it's not hard work and effort that are going to bring us more of it. And so then we are in a place where we can make more once we have broken our attachment to it, right? Like, pulled our self-worth and our work away from our money, and we put those things in two different buckets, then of course more money can come in, but we'll do that work for sure. There's an entire section of the work that is about money. Again, it's just not necessarily how do I manifest more money? It's understanding the energetics of money, my baggage around money, so that I can become an energetic match for more money, which does happen when you feel better, for the record. right? Here's another one. Do I have to share all of my shit in front of a room full of strangers? Yes and no, right? Like this is a group coaching program. So yes, there are going to be other people on the calls. This is not a one-on-one program. I have private coaching available. And if that's what you're looking for, reach out to me and schedule. I do like a consult for that. But in this environment, you're going to be in a group full of people. But what I love about group work when it comes to this type of work is we so often think that we are the only one experiencing this thing. Nobody gets me. Nobody understands me. The number of people who tell me, Ryan, I just feel so alone. Like I don't have anybody to talk to about this shit. And then we're so worried to talking to people about this shit. Like, I'm not going to ask you to share more than you're comfortable with, but this is a space of openness and a space of vulnerability. And there's so much power in that. There's power in connection. There's power in learning from others and hearing other people's stories in different perspectives, different industries, different parts of the world. So to me, I love group coaching, both as a client and as a coach and a teacher, because there is more to it than just learning from me. And while I love that work and the intimacy of the one-on-one work is beautiful, I do think there's a lot of value in getting more people's perspective than just mine. And because this first round is a live round, this is a beta program, there's not shit tons of people. You're not going to get lost in the shuffle. So you are going to get a lot of personalized coaching and support from me. I always do that when I launch something new. And my goal is to always over deliver and take a lot of feedback from you guys to tell me like, hey, we need more of this or and like insert this, do this. So, I'm not going to ask you to share more than you feel comfortable sharing, but I find when I create spaces like this that people really enjoy the shares, both sharing themselves and then hearing other people's shares, because it does show us how so often we think it's just us, it's just me, I'm the only one struggling with this, I'm the only one dealing with this, and you're going to find that that's not true at all. Here's another one. How much time is it going to take? How much time is it going to take? I always tell my clients, and I tell all of my private clients this, they know this, those of you that listen, you've heard me say this before, I am not going to change every single area of your life in 12 weeks. Business therapy is a 12-week program. My high-touch VIP programs are 6-week programs is where I start. We start with building a foundation. I believe when you start doing this work, and I say this work, I said, playing the energy game. When you start playing the energy game, it is a game you will play for the rest of your life, because you will realize how much more power you actually have over everything happening in your life. So you're going to play this game for the rest of your life. What my goal is to give you in these 12 weeks is the foundation to be able to do that. What are the foundational things that I need to work on, that I need to look at, that I need to reflect on, that I need more space for, that I need a better understanding of, so that the rest of my life can be fucking incredible. And some people, I've shared stories like this before. I have people who have joined my coaching containers, and before we've even had our first session, they're starting to experience it, because I think the energy shift happens as soon as you make a decision. As soon as you make a decision that I am no longer willing to play the hard work and effort game, no longer am I willing to play the am I good enough, can I earn it game, when I'm no longer willing to play the game like everybody else is playing and I start to play by my own rules, an energetic shift happens. And that typically happens when you make an investment in this space, whether it's with me or with someone else, right? I've learned that in myself. Every time I have made an investment in the next level version of myself, it has paid off unbelievably fast from a return on investment perspective. So how much time is it going to take, to see a transformation? It's totally up to you. Many people start to see a shift super duper fast. And we start really powerfully with really understanding the energy game. And once you understand the game that you are playing, the shifts can happen very quickly. How much of your personal time is this work going to take? Because that's probably also part of this question, right? Like, you already are probably working way too much, putting way more hours into your time, your career, and your business than you want to be. And so the idea of putting more time on your calendar probably stresses you out. And I will tell you, I understand. And that is exactly why you need to do it. I think it's Joe Dispenza who often says, like, the person who says they don't have time to meditate is the person who needs to meditate more than anything else. Because playing the energy game, really becoming an energetic match to winning, is about slowing down. It is about doing less. It is about to get off of the hamster wheel, the treadmill of more. So yeah, you're going to have to make time in your calendar. Right now, in this first program that I'm launching, I am teaching live. I'm teaching live every single week, and then I'm coaching as well. So there are 2 calls every single week. I am going to challenge you with things like doing breath work and meditating and walking and journaling and doing things. So I am going to ask you to dedicate time to yourself. And if you're thinking, I don't have time for that, or I will do this when I have more time, I'm going to tell you this. I need you to listen very carefully to me right now. Today is the youngest that you are ever going to be. Today is the last day that you're going to wake up at this age, in this time frame, in this experience. And the days are just going to go faster and faster and faster and faster. So if you do not make time to take care of yourself, to take care of your energy, to invest in yourself, what is the rest of your life going to look like? So if time is really the only reason why, hey, Ryan, I'm not sure business therapy is for me because I'm really fucking busy and I'm not sure I have time for this, you more than anybody need to make time for this. Because living a life that is full is one thing. Living a life that is so chaotically busy that you can't make a couple hours a week to invest in yourself is not a life. That is not a life. You are not living, you are surviving. There is no space to thrive in survival. So if you don't have a few hours of spare time every single week to invest in yourself and in your energy, that is something that you need to look at. And you have to ask yourself, am I living? Am I really, truly living right now? Or am I surviving? And are you okay with that? Up to you. For me, I was not. Right? Here's the question. Do I need to be in a certain type of business? And somebody like, I'm not a real estate agent. Totally okay. I happen to work with a lot of real estate agents. I love working with real estate agents. Not everyone who's enrolled so far is a real estate agent. In fact, I think I have more non-agents than I do agents, and some leaving the business to do different things. So this is, again, anybody who has big goals, professional pursuits that you have going on in your life, or maybe you're even a place where you're like, I don't even know what my professional pursuits should be. Like, I have a career, or I was chatting with a woman the other day. She was a stay-at-home mom, has been on and off for years, and it's just kind of like, I know that I want to do more than be a stay-at-home mom, but I don't know what that looks like. Like, yes, if you are somebody who wants to pursue something bigger than you, that feels like there is potential inside of you like you could not possibly imagine, and it's just not coming out, then business therapy is for you. But the vein of the conversation is going to be around career and business and professionalism and what that particular vein of life, but we're going to talk about all of it in this program, right? We're going to wind up talking about your marriages and your relationships and your weight loss and your mamas and, that one person who was an asshole and whatever and all of that different stuff. It's all going to come out. It's all going to come out. So just for the record, okay? Let's see. I have this whole list over here. Let's see if I have anything else. Oh, here's a really good one. Somebody messaged me that said, I don't even know what I want anymore. Like, what if I'm not clear on who I am or what I want? Should I start somewhere else in your work? And right now the answer is no. No, because this work is still so new, meaning like this body of work is in business therapy, that we're going to do identity work in here. I think at some point in time, I would advise, I do have a self-study program called Uncensored Self-Identity. That is a 28-day self-study program of really like, who am I and what do I want out of life? Like, just kind of a lot it was created because I had a lot of people telling me that, like, I don't even know who I am. Like, people going through divorces or empty nesting or changing careers, or like I said, the one woman I was telling you about who's going from being a stay-at-home mom to, is this, what do I do when this is not my life anymore? So identity is a really great place to start. If this feels like a big chunk, go buy identity. It's incredible, right? But I think even right now, the way that I plan to deliver this body of work, we are going to do that, like get clear on who I am and what I want. Because I'm finding that even as I chat with some of the women who have already enrolled in the program, some of them are in that place where they're like, I need clarity, and then I want to use the energetics of winning to get that clarity. So I hope that helps. Somebody asked, what kind of results are people seeing really? Really? What are my results going to be? Here's what I hope your results will be, and here is what I have seen, right? My goal in business therapy is to give you the foundational tools to take back control of your life and to realize that you can live a life beyond your wildest imagination when you play the energy game. So I'm going to teach you how to play the energy game, which means we no longer have to play the effort and force game, the prove it game, the work harder game, the suffering, the sacrifice, the lack and limitation game. And we can play the game of fun and love and joy and excitement and passion and fun and interest, and actually make money, have fun, serve the world in a way that feels really good to us without working 4 bajillion hours a week, right? Like, that is the results that you will get inside of this 12-week container. Is you will learn, how do I stop playing this old game over here, and how do I start playing the energy game, because that game sounds like a hell of a lot more fun, because I realize I would like to live my life, not just work my life. Okay. That is the result that is expected. What have I seen in my clients that I have been working with since I started doing this work is just bananas and unbelievable. We've absolutely seen people, one client who had the first quarter 2025 is the best quarter of her real estate career in the work that we've done together. I have another client who's navigating really giant decisions, and we've helped her be able to navigate those really powerfully. You guys have all heard Courtney's story, right, of helping her get back into alignment and really just blow up her business in an incredible way without all of the baggage from before. So again, not a whole lot of external change happening in her world, but her results are dramatic, and her inner world is so much better and more peaceful and more connected in a beautiful way. I have a client who is growing, 2 clients who are growing real estate brokerages, who have attracted both new agents for their team as well as leads and alignment in really fabulous ways. I have one client who thought she wasn't going to be made partner, and was made partner this year in her law firm and the energy work that we're doing together. I have a client who, is just navigating personal shit, right? Highly successful professionally, but finds her personal life was always kind of a hot mess. And we've got a lot of clarity and focus in her personal life and how she wants to move forward as she gets to a phase in life where her kids are graduating and leaving home and all of that. Like, who do I want to be? When I empty nest in this, scenario of what that looks like. So those are some of the things that we are working on. But again, to me, success is that you're getting really great results in your life, but you're doing it in a way that feels really aligned and fun. That's the bottom line here. What if I'm too burned out to even do the work? What if I'm too burned out to even do the work? Again, we got to start somewhere, right? I always start everybody with nervous system regulation, and that's the first thing we do to need to get out of burnout. So again, the people who are feeling just overwhelmed by the idea of even doing the work, is that's the reason why you have to do the work. Right. In my opinion, because I get that when I was in this place, when I started doing this work, I was in burnout, right? Like, again, you're going to add one more thing. It's just one more thing to do, one more thing to think about, one more thing to try to figure out. Like, I get it. I was there, but we all start somewhere. And I think that this is a perfect place to start. Those are all the questions. Those are all the questions that have come in conversations that I have jotted down. We are going to launch, this is very real time. I'm recording this. It'll come out to see you guys on Monday. And then that Thursday is when we will launch. It'll be Thursday, April 10th, 2025 is when we will launch the live program. And then I will walk you guys through that 12-week program live after this first class, because I've had some questions like, hey, the timing's not right, but I would like to join later. What does that look like? I am an open enrollment kind of girl. What I mean by that is I do not open and close my programs. I think that's bananas. That's like Target being like, I'm going to close the doors and nobody's going to be able to go through this. What will happen if you do not join us in this live round is that the curriculum will be delivered to you pre-recorded. So you will get pre-recorded content and then live coaching calls. So instead of live teaching, live coaching, you'll get recorded content and coaching. So you'll still get access to the exact same content, the exact same experience, other than it's just not the live teaching calls. That is the only thing that will change. You can join us at absolutely any time. I will do a price increase. As I started outlining this, I think I'm about 4 lessons in that I have like totally done. I'm like, this is going to be so much bigger than I thought that it was. And obviously pre-launch or, mid-launch, I'm not like, I'm going to hike the price, because that does not feel aligned. But when I look at the life-changing information and transformation that's available just in the teaching without any coaching or guidance or breakthroughs or anything like that, that absolutely positively a price increase is coming. Yes, please join us whenever you are ready. Yes, please join us when the timing feels good, but those are going to be the differences. I don't think there's anything in the live teaching versus the live versus pre-recorded. I am personally a pre-recorded content kind of girl. I've never gone through a program live like I've taught them, because I don't know if I've seen an offer that I wanted to do that, but I'm also the type that, like, I'm running a business, right? And I have small kids and I like to listen to things a couple of times. So I personally prefer pre-recorded content, because I will listen to a lesson. Yeah, I'm going through a program right now. I listen to a lesson 2 or 3 times, right? Like I listen to it all the way through, and then I'll go in and take some notes. And then after those notes and some things, I'll go in and do it again. So I think the pre-recorded content is great. So to me, I don't think that changes too much for the program. I don't think there's any FOMO around that. Personally, it's my personal opinion. You know what they say about those. But of course, if you like the pricing the way that it is now, I suggest that you join us, because it is going to go up. But there's also a lot of access to me in the program for now, meaning that, we use Slack as our online marketplace, or our online, not marketplace, that's not the right word, online communication tool. So you can just voice memo me like, hey, Ryan, I was triggered here. Hey, Ryan, this is going on. So as of right now, there's a lot of that. I intend to keep that for a very long time. I like the personal touch in this work. I feel like it's extremely important, but I'm also running a business, and scale and time and things like that are absolutely positively a thing. So I always am a big believer of like, get in early, get in now while it's new, while it's so high touch, all these different things. There's a lot of momentum and fun that comes around it. But if you are somebody who finds this podcast 5 years in the future and is like, this still sounds amazing, come on in, and I'm sure you're getting the support somehow. I just don't know if it's coming from me personally. So, I love you guys. I'm grateful for this community, this opportunity, for this time. Any other questions, please reach out. If you have questions, the program, I'm going to give you a quick rundown. It is a 12-week program. There are 6 core lessons in the program. Okay. There's 6 core lessons, 12 weeks. And so the reason why it's delivered in 12 weeks is because each program or each core part of the program is going to be broken down into 2 weeks of teaching. I just think that some of these ideas and concepts are pretty deep, and they're multifaceted. So I didn't want to feel rushed in doing that. So every core topic, there's 2 weeks. So I'll run you through our topics. One is the energy game, right? Really understanding what game are we playing here and the role that we have as creator. We'll go over reclaim your worthiness, right? So this is our good enough story, right? Are we good enough? Are we smart enough? Our not enough story, our lack, limitation, all of that. We'll refine identity, right? That performing and that proving energy that we have. So we'll move that around. Rewriting your money story. I mentioned that money is a big one. We'll spend a couple weeks there. Rebuilding your business on your terms, right? This is really about what are the rules that you're following that are made up, and pulling those apart and understanding those. And then the last 2 weeks, we will wrap up with embodiment, right? It does us no good to learn if we're not implementing. I was really excellent at that for a long time. I imagine you probably are too, right? Super smart, can like recite all sorts of things back to you, but like, what is the implementation of what this looks like? Because none of this work really matters if we don't implement, right? None of this work really matters if we don't start making the changes in our day-to-day life. None of this work really matters if we're not going to do it. So we spend 2 weeks talking about tactical ways to make this make this work. So each week, like I said, I will teach, and then we will do a live kind of coaching activation integration call. This is Q&A. This is, hey, I did some homework. I did some reflection. This is what's going on. This is what's coming up for me. So we'll do that every single week. As of right now, 12 weeks is where we're at. Slack is our online community. And the program is $2,500. So it's $2,500 for now. I've not decided what the price increase is. Normally the numbers will drop in and I'll know. So I'm not bullshitting you. I just try to use my intuition a little bit. So that's the program, 12 weeks, $2,500, change your life. Go to livelifeuncensored.com/therapy, livelifeuncensored/therapy. There's a full breakdown there. You can sign up. There are payment plan options that are available. If you don't like the payment plan options, please reach out. I often say one of my favorite things to think about the people I work with is I always say the people that I work with are ready to do the work. They are the type of people that are like, I'm all in, let's fucking go. Let's make things happen. And I think that's why my clients get such great results, because they are all fucking in on the work. And so I often say too, that if that's your level of commitment, I want to work with you. I don't want money to be the reason you say no. So if you need a different payment plan than what is available on the website, feel free to reach out. Okay. Feel free to reach out. We can definitely figure something out that works and aligns for you. So again, grateful for every single one of you. I've had so much fun creating this series, creating this program. This has really helped me fine tune so much of the work, and it's just been a lot of fun. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I said in the very beginning when I recorded the very first podcast that, I model the work in real time. This was an intuitive nudge, creating this podcast series, the way that I'm putting this together. This program was completely downloaded or channeled or whatever word you want to use. And so I'm doing the work right alongside with my clients. I don't pretend to be untouchable, or, I don't want to be so far out of the realm of the work that we're doing. So I embody what I teach you guys to do, what I teach my clients to do, is when you get a nudge, you follow the nudge. So I have been following a nudge for the past couple of weeks. I've had the time of my life. I feel like it has helped me get so much focus and connection and conversation with you guys, which I have just loved so much. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this community. I'll see y'all next week. Thank you for tuning in to the Uncensored Self Podcast. If you're walking away with a new perspective, some fresh inspiration, or the push you needed to show up as your uncensored self, I'd love to hear about it. Share this episode, leave a review, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Remember, success isn't about following somebody else's rules. It's about owning who you are, deciding what you want, and going after it unapologetically. Until next time, keep leading, keep creating, and stay uncensored.